Hey guys, so I'm really excited to show you guys this carbon fiber GRP steering wheel. Now, I will put a link for you to purchase the steering wheel in the description below. Make sure when you're checking out that you enter my code KELEENT. That way you guys can save some money on this steering wheel, and it's gonna add up a lot. So it looks absolutely amazing compared to the old steering wheel. It kind of looks outdated. And especially with all this carbon fiber in my car, there's no way I'm not going to get that. So we're going to install this today. I'm going to go through it with you guys. I'll give you quick install tips and how to do it. The first thing you want to do is disconnect your battery, and I would play it safe by waiting like a couple minutes so any residual charges kind of go down. So let's get started. So after you do that battery, there are two bolts, two hex bolts, one right here and one on the other side, and they are a 5 mm bolt right there. So you can open those up, one on this side and one on the other side. If I can get to it. There you go, right there. So mine are painted blue from the factory. I'm guessing yours are too, so I'm just gonna say they're the two blue screws, and what those do are they hold the airbag in place. So make sure your battery is disconnected so that way you won't accidentally discharge your airbag. Okay, now when you get to the airbag, when you pull it out, okay, this is the end connection for it, and this green clip has to come out. Basically, it's like this in the airbag. You want to lift this green tab up. After you pull it up, you can just pull it away from the airbag and it will pop out really easily. So I just wanted to make this reference to you guys. As you can see, this is the airbag line, and that connector up there is the connector for the horns. Just look at the way that it's kind of pushed in there. You would probably want to push it back in the same way to prevent this this to interfere with the airbag, and to make sure that your steering wheel sits flush and proper. So once all these wires are disconnected, you want to take your 5 mm hex socket and remove these 4 hex bolts. It's time to put the steering wheel back in. If you look at the original bolts, you can kind of see a blue chemical on there. I'm guessing that Lotus used blue Loctite in order to ensure that the bolts won't come out. So I would suggest you use some blue Loctite or some sort of Loctite to keep the bolts in and prevent them from coming in loose. Now these bolts, they don't need to be on super tight. You will find it when you go to remove them that they're not that tight at all. So you also kind of want to be careful because this is really kind of light. You don't want to damage it. That's the last thing you want to do, is to damage your steering wheel. So just be careful. Don't over tighten it. You should kind of feel how tight is good enough. So yeah, I would put in some Loctite and tighten it up and connect the wires. I do, however, recommend that with any bolt pattern such as this, you always want to tighten it cross to cross. So top left versus bottom right, top right versus bottom left. Just kind of tighten this one, then this one, then this one, then this one. That way it kind of goes on evenly. You want to position the steering wheel so it's fairly tight. Try to look for the marks that were there previously and try to align it to those marks so that everything is flush and everything feels proper. You don't want to have it tilted a little to the sides and make you think that your steering wheel is not completely straight. The margin is very minimal, but of course you always want to be as close to perfect as you can. So once the bolts are tightened up, you want to connect your horn harness and you want to kind of push it up in that corner just like it was from the factory. Now you want to connect your airbag. Remember, you want to just connect this one inside the airbag, and then with this side you want to close the tab. And if you take a close look at the airbag, you will see that it has notches. There's a female end and a male end. You want to compare that to your clip. You can see there's the male end at the top and the female end of this clip at the bottom. So you want to position this appropriately, typically the same exact direction that you took it off. It's going to go back on the same place. So once you've connected the airbag connector in, you want to hold your airbag with one hand and position your screw in, and then once both threads catch, that's when you want to start tightening it up. And again, just like the bolts on the inside, you want to do it approximately about the same amount of torque. You don't want to over tighten it, just enough that it feels really tight and it won't loosen up. Alright, so once you have fitted your airbag and tightened all the screws, you want to reconnect your battery and then test your horn, make sure it works on both sides, and you are all done. So once again, this is the carbon fiber steering wheel by GRP. The link to the steering wheel is in the description, along with the discount code KELEENT. You want to put that in at checkout to save you up to 5% off your order. So why not save a lot of money while at the same time making your car look absolutely amazing, giving the cockpit an updated look, and it will genuinely just give you more pleasure as you drive. So you'll love it. It looks so nice, and I'm sure when people go inside the car, they'll definitely compliment it, especially if you don't have the rest of the carbon fiber stuff. Like with mine, it blends in with everything else, so it's not as noticeable, but it definitely adds a little special touch to the car. So if you don't have as much carbon fiber as I do, it will definitely stand out and people will notice, and you will receive a lot of compliments on it for sure. So it looks amazing, and it feels great. It makes the car feel new. I highly recommend it. I just can't stop looking at it. It looks really good. So pick one up if you guys want, and I hope this video helped you guys. Tomorrow I will go outside and take a little video in the sunlight so you guys can see how the carbon fiber looks in the sun. So one last really quick thing. After you're done with your steering wheel, you want to wrap up your core in the same great fashion that you received your carbon fiber steering wheel. You want to put this protective plastic over it and this foam pad. That way you protect your steering wheel, and you send it back in a really good condition. So I'm sure that will help Greg out a lot. And yeah, so just return it in the great condition that you got yours. So thanks again. Alright, so here it is outside in the sun. Along with the rest of the carbon. And to my surprise, I really don't have that much glare on the windscreen. I was going to make a cloth similar to this just to lay over on the dash while I'm driving, but the way the angle is, I'd never actually experienced a lot of glare from the sun, so I've never had a difficulty time seeing, and that's without glasses either. I'm sure if you put polarized sunglasses that you won't see anything at all. But here's the steering wheel. The quality is really, really nice. The carbon fiber is like very strong. It feels just like your original steering wheel. So, shot of it from the inside.
And so that's about it right there. Looks really nice, definitely completes the interior. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys get one too, because it looks absolutely amazing.